To be in the game, you just got to get a wow on your car. Simple as that. So, self-addressed stamped envelope. The address is up on opieandanthony.com, okay?
Right.
But it's not about us today, Anthony.
No.
It's about little Jimmy Norton.
Little Jimmy Norton. What a night he had.
We went to the HBO taping last night of Jim Norton's half-hour comedy special.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's going to air in August, Jimmy?
They originally said June. Now it looks like August. We don't know exact dates. They keep changing.
And,
really?
And I don't even know where to begin. I guess we should begin by just telling everyone that wasn't there last night that Jimmy just destroyed. Absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, when you see this, you're going to be floored. You just killed Jimmy.
Thank you, and thank you guys for coming. I know it was like a late night and a pain in the ass.
We wouldn't miss it. We wouldn't miss it.
I missed that one.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he was talking to me and you backstage like it was a chore. I'm like, are you insane? HBO taping? I mean, of course we're going to be here. You know, and I've seen Jimmy probably, I was trying to figure it out this morning, probably 100 times, Jimmy.
Yeah.
The rhythm and the pacing last night, it was the best I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. You stepped up to the plate and like A-Rod, you kicked ass last night.
Like A-Rod, huh?
Well,
I pulled a little lad out of the street.
10 RBIs, 3 homers.
Yeah, no, you just destroyed last night.
Grand slam.
And it was just a lot of fun to witness. And you know what? Another thing I got to say really fast, get it out of the way before we really start goofing, because there's a lot of stuff to goof about. The fans were just unbelievable last night.
Amazing.
I got to tell you guys, I mean, you just get it. You get the show. You just get it. Mm-hmm. You know, there are times when, it's time to be an asshole in a crowd setting. But you guys all knew how important it was for Jimmy last night, and you guys came to the plate too, man.
I don't know how, because they are just a bunch of animals. It was a room full of animals that, for some reason, didn't just rip people's throats out like they normally do. Scream out shit in the middle of Jimmy's act during an HBO taping. I completely expected it.
Really?
I am surprised as hell that they didn't. I'm happy they didn't, but I can't figure out why they didn't.
I thought there would be a couple guys that would have to be slapped real hard.
Yeah, at least.
But I'm telling you, everyone that went just knew this was different and this was really important, and you know. And they just came to the plate. They were great last night.
They were phenomenal, man. And Kevin Brennan, who did the first show with me, who was really funny, was a little nervous before the show. He's like, "What kind of stuff are they going to yell?" I'm like, "Dude, they won't really yell.
Well,
they won't yell. They'll be fine."
We got to go backwards a little bit. Yeah, Kevin taped his half-hour special before Jimmy, and technically in front of Jimmy's crowd.
Yeah,
you know, but he was the only comedian willing to do that, right?
The rest of them were a little nervous.
A lot of the other comedians, you know, were a little nervous to do their act in front of an O&A crowd.
Yep.
Kevin's like, screw it, I'll give it a shot or whatever. And he did great. I love the guy. I've seen him at the Cellar many times. But he got some advice from you before the show, right?
Well, he was just like worried, like, what if they yell? I'm like, dude, if they yell, just bite their fucking heads off. He's like, what kind of stuff might they yell at me? I'm like, he's like, is there like, he was like worried that there's like these little radio terms.
Right.
He's like, well, is there like a trigger word? I'm like, dude, it's not the Manchurian Candidate. They're a bunch of psychos who enjoy the radio show.
A trigger word.
Trigger word.
Yeah, can you imagine he's just doing a stupid bit and just happens to have the word shit dick in it or something?
Oh, God. Trigger word for those animals is good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please.
He was afraid he'd say something like, and the ace of spades.
That's funny.
Much the rain. Shut up.
Poor guy's got to concentrate on his act, and he's backstage trying to figure out if there's any trigger words that he's got to stay away from. That's just going to set the audience into a frenzy.
Stay away from anything with the letter A in it. They freak out. They'll rush the stage. Oh, wait.
They don't like 3-letter words.
No thes. Drop the.
You know, it was really interesting. I was walking up, and the crowd was star-studded. Did you notice some people? I'm looking around the room as we were walking to our seats and going, look, there's Pat from Moonaki.
I was doing the same thing.
And there's the EMT guys that don't like being called EMT guys.
The EMT guys that are officially stalkers of this program. It's getting a little awkward with the EMT guys.
I like the EMT guys.
And they want to be called what?
Medics.
They want to be called medics.
Yeah, they chastised Ben.
Yeah.
Ben introduced them as, hey, here are the EMT guys. And they're like, hey, we're not EMT guys. We're medics. Calling us EMT guys is like And then they gave some kind of analogy that Ben couldn't quite understand. And he herked and jerked, and off he went.
Well, they were.
I never got an answer.
Well, the EMT guys were sitting right behind Ben, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're stalkers. I mean, because it's getting awkward. Every morning they're right outside the building, and we have to wave to them every morning.
Yeah.
They're not saving people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're making sure they're in front of the building. They know when we arrive, and we have to do the awkward wave, like, good to see you guys.
But it's like, hey, how you doing, guys?
Right.
Glad you could make it. No, I like the medics.
Oh, they're all right.
They're good guys. And then I'm looking around the room, and you're like, hey, look, there's tax cunts, and there's old gravy leg, there's little Connor's armpit, and like they're just star-studded message board people.
Yeah, I love meeting the new message board guys, and you're like, oh, you're whatever, you know? You get all excited, like, oh, I know who you are.
Read your posts?
I was definitely taken back when I saw Pat from Menaki.
Yeah. Pat was, and actually, not only that, but walking to dinner in between the two shows last night, the early and late show, we saw Pat from Munaki's van, and we had to take pictures with it. I swear. Dude, look, it's Pat's van, and there it is. It has Philbin on the side and all the WoW stickers.
Are you a fan of this show?
It's just certain things that are celebrity. You've said it in the past. If you put a grapefruit on television and then take it on tour, people will go, look, that's the grapefruit.
I think that's an old Dana Carvey bit, actually. That
it's just some kind of a celebrity thing that was
might have picked up on when he said it. You know, you could just take anything on tour and it'll become famous, and people will want to check it out and get a picture next to it.
So
You're right.
Pat's delivery van, I was like, dude, that's Pat's van. We had to take pictures.
Do you know the one thing that I heard from the stage that was almost a heckle? It's got quiet for a second after the joke, and I hear.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah, where's
that
Ben?
Cackling buffoon Ben Sparks.
Dude, half the time, I was focusing on you as much as I could, but Ben was in our row, and he was laughing when you're not supposed to laugh because you mentioned hookers, and it just set him into a frenzy for some reason.
Went crazy. Yeah, it was your bit about I guess Rio.
Rio.
And you know how the hookers are legal there.
Yes.
And what is it? $3?
Well, it's 3-to-1 exchange on the dollar.
3-to-1 exchange on the dollar. And then Jimmy goes, Rio, or as I like to call it, Mecca.
Right.
And Ben just goes,
It wasn't just my friend Jamie was with me, and I told him about Jim, and he'd never met Jim, never seen Jim. So as soon as he mentioned hookers, the two of us just started laughing our ass off. And then I look, and Jim looks right at me from the stage.
Looked right at you and almost started laughing himself.
The only time I almost lost my composure is when I heard Ben. All he wanted to talk about was your hog, and just started goofing on you. And look, Herky.
Right.
I
just leave your act and go into just mocking Ben.
It was so hard not to just herky and jerk and goof off.
Well, you did herky
on the second show.
Yeah. Oh, that was the second show?
Yeah, he did it on the first.
You did it on
the first? Okay.
It was funny.
A little herky jerky for him.
That was funny, though. I've seen a lot of your act and, the comedy stuff, but that's funny.
Oh, thanks.
And I was, and I'm with a group of my friends, and then I got Earl in my row. By the way, Earl was mortified by certain things.
Oh, was he there?
But, man, that was funny. We were just laughing our asses off.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable set. It really was. And you showed restraint, Jimmy. Because, like you said, how could you not go off on a tangent on
but he knew damn well if he would have gone that road, the audience would have gotten involved.
But HBO would be
jerky gravy leg.
HBO would have been backstage like, what the hell did we get ourselves into? This is all inside stuff. I mean, the audience is laughing their balls off, but we can't throw this on HBO.
I had to do stuff that could be left in. Like during the Late Show, there's one point where I do a bit of the military, and I'm in the car with the soldiers, so I threw in a little Pat from Munaki laugh, which the crowd loved, but that can stay in because people at home are like, all right, they enjoyed his little laugh. All right, whatever. It's not too inside.
Right. But yeah, you definitely showed restraint.
Pat almost got a standing ovation during that one.
I know.
He actually waved a little to the crowd. Yeah, that's me. That's me. He's doing me.
Tip this insulin.
I'm even hooked on the Pat now, man. I'm trying to imitate him.
Well, there he was, in the audience like a star, like a celebrity. Like when you pan the seats at the Oscars and they zoom in on the celebrities and stuff. Pat was one of those guys. Everyone's looking over at him. Look, that's Pat.
What's going on in the line outside, too, before the second show?
Yeah.
I walked over. I was like, hey, Pat, what's going on? He's like, oh, it's been busy. Been signing things and taking photographs. And there's people coming over. It's like, oh, it's Pat from Monoghy.
He's signing autographs.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. And then the crowd just yelling out O&A Party Rock when we showed up.
Oh, O&A Party Rock is the war cry. It's the new war cry.
It's such a faggy war cry. Let's be honest with you, everybody.
It is awful. It is awful.
That's
coming
something
from the balcony. O&A Party Rock.
I imagine that's something that Scott and Todd's fans would yell at them if they even have fans anymore.
Scott and Todd Party Rock.
Right.
Oh, just a horrible war cry.
I hope people realize that we're mocking something. We don't know what, but we're mocking it with that whole O&A Party Rock. We're not dressed like guys that should be yelled at with that.
No. O&A Party Rock, indeed.
Man. I'm trying to... I mean, there's a whole list of things to get to here. Standing ovation when Jim walks out. Yeah, I mean, did you expect that?
No. I mean, I knew that they'd give me a nice hand, but that was kind of overwhelming.
Sometimes you get a couple of rows or, some of the crowd will stand up.
Yeah.
If they're really fans of the comic, that gets up there and stuff. But the entire audience stood up. It was amazing. And just wouldn't sit down, wouldn't stop cheering.
Well, because I think everyone knew that this was your moment. They were excited for you.
Mm-hmm.
This was the culmination of you just working on your act to this point, and people got it. They just got it, and they just lost it, and everyone stood up before you even started your act, man.
Yeah, it was overwhelming. I'm not. Patrice actually helped me a lot because I saw him the night before he taped. Before his first taping, he was. I mean, you guys know Patrice. He was nervous, man, and I could see he was nervous. And he wound up having great shows, and the second show he just destroyed. I didn't see it, but they said he murdered. He called me the next day. He goes, just don't try to be too cool for the moment. Meaning, like, let them applaud, let them do what they want. He's like, 'cause you know how we sabotage things. He's like, all right, stop clapping. He's like, don't, just let it be what it is. Let it be big. And Patrice really helped me. Like, I was self-conscious. We all have low self-esteem, and they're all applauding for me. And I'm like, how do you make this stop immediately?
Stop, this is uncomfortable.
Oh, my God. But
I'm not worthy of this.
Oh, dude, it's like they're just loving you, and they're telling you that. It's like, how do you accept that? It's really,
dude, you handled it perfect. You just took it all in.
It was nice, man.
What were you thinking just before you hit the stage? I mean, this was it, bro. I mean, the cameras are rolling, I hope my breathing is okay. I hope I can breathe. Really?
Yeah, because I get this thing where, like, when I still have it kind of where I can't take a full breath. I can breathe, but I can't take a deep breath because I'm tense.
Then what do you start thinking? What if I just pass out up there?
What if I can't breathe?
Oh, jeez.
Because you get beyond where I'm not afraid of bombing anymore necessarily. It's like, what if I can't breathe? What if I pass out? It's all this like hypochondriac stuff that you start to get afraid of. But it was overwhelming, man. It was amazing, and it was like emotional. It was like these guys are the greatest. It was just I looked out at you guys. I was happy to see you guys there. The message boards, all the people that like made that remember that little West Side Theater show on 43rd Street with 300 people that whack bag and cringe. And I know OpieAnthony.net yelled at me. All those guys promoted, got HBO there to begin with, and got this whole ball rolling. So it was like a real listener thing while we were off the air. So it was like a really
this
weird.
Started about a year ago, right?
Even more. Whenever that show was
February or something like.
Jeez.
Last February. It was yeah.
Oh yeah. It might have been last February. You're right.
It was like last winter or something. Yeah, Aunt and I were in no man's land.
Who knows?
We were in no man's land. Jimmy had to find us. I think I don't even know. I think it was in California. Who knows where Anthony was? I didn't talk to him for months at a time, and we had to all get back together for this reunion for Jimmy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, hey, what's up? What have you been up to, man?
How you doing? I used to do a show with this guy.
And then we were awkwardly taking pictures with fans, I remember, and I'm like, man, we've been out of the spotlight for a year at this point or something. It was really strange. But then last night it all came together, obviously.
That show started the whole ball roll, and it got promoted through all the message boards. We had no advertising in New York, so that was all the fans, man.
Voss is coming in today, and I think he was the one, as we're all leaving last night, finally at, I don't know, like 12:30, whatever it was. He's like, don't forget to... don't let Jimmy off the hook. He was blowing kisses to the audience. Did you blow kisses to the audience?
Dude, and this is
because I didn't see it.
On the Late Show. And, boss, you're a tattletale and a scumbag.
Oh, a tattletale. like no one's going to notice in August. This wasn't a little show in Boston like it's hearsay.
Dude, I came out, and like, you have to come out and do a quick, like, encore wave. It was just part of it for the credits. So I'm waving, and as I'm backing up, I blew a kiss, and as I blew a kiss, all I'm thinking of is, Voss and Patrice are going to kill me for this. As it comes off my lips, I know I'm fucking finished, and I can't believe I just done.
That. Stupid Voss, though. That's the only thing he had to say. Obviously, he's very proud of you, and you guys
but he's
are really
completely
good friends.
right, though. He's completely
But that's the only thing he commented on. He blew kisses to the audience. Don't let them forget it.
Like I'm Ethel Merman after a show. Just say, there's no business backing off.
Thank you.
And when Voss said that, I thought to myself, oh, good, I'm off the hook. Because when you mentioned us, which was awesome, and, you know,
of course.
what can I say about that? I actually gave you a thumbs up.
Did you? I didn't notice.
I like... I mean, for the people that weren't there, Jimmy, you know, we were sitting in the audience, and Jimmy gave us props, and the cameras, you know, obviously the big moment, because I saw the lights going up in the theater. I'm like,
hey, why are the lights on us? Like, all of a sudden, right over us, the lights start coming up. I'm like, here it comes.
So here comes the acknowledgement or whatever from the stage, and Jimmy mentions us. We get a really nice reaction. Thanks to everyone there for that. And I didn't know what to do. I'm looking at Jimmy. Jimmy says, stand up. So all of a sudden, I stand up, and I just go.
You gave the big thumbs up? Yeah. I got to be honest with you. I looked up, and my arm went out, and I was just ready to put my thumb up.
Oh, were you?
But I held back and gave him the point. I just pointed at him with my pointer finger and went, no, you, Jimmy. I'm like, you know, you. It's about you.
Because what are you doing that? I know, it's very awkward. You want to just wave, but it's too faggy. You just go, hi.
Kind of turned around, waved to the crowd a little bit. They were giving us a lot of, I did the old Broadway bow. And then
I did the Queen wave.
You did the Queen wave?
Yeah, for the people in the balcony, I just did the Queen wave.
Kind of shook your hand back and forth a little bit?
Yeah, slightly.
But that was a little weird.
But I gave the thumbs up like...
Oh, my
God.
Give him the Fonzie.
I didn't even notice, dude. I'm sure I'll see it today when I watch the DVDs.
Oh, God.
It'd be awful. You know who got a great ovation when they were seating him? Rich Voss.
Yeah.
Yep.
When they were bringing Rich and Bonnie up to their seats, you know, it started a slow little rumble when he came in, walked through the door, and he's walking up the aisle, and people just started going crazy for Voss. And it must have made him feel all good.
Oh, it made him feel great.
Yeah.
You could just see it in his eyes.
Dopes. What are you making Voss feel good for?
And then I don't want to give away too much of the material, but the Terry Schiavo, Pat O'Brien thing killed.
Oh, yeah, I had to do that. When else are you ever going to do that?
And that was, like, more inside for the fans.
But, absolutely. Yeah. That was one of those things where the crowd just went crazy, man.
Jimmy has one of the best bits on Terry Schiavo. Yep. I think he actually did it on the air, matter of fact.
That's probably where it was born, actually, was on the air. Somebody just threw out on the radio.
You did it on the air. It's one of the best, looks at that whole situation. And then you threw in the Pat O'Brien sex tapes, some of the famous lines from the sex tapes. And the people just lost their minds.
That's probably my favorite moment from the show was the Pat O'Brien lines.
Yeah.
Something just for the fan. People in middle America will watch and go, what do you mean you're so fucking hot? What does that mean? But whatever.
Right. Jimmy Danza took a few applause breaks during the show. People are saying Jimmy Danza. Yeah, amazing. Just people going crazy.
And you didn't want to step on the applause because it's your instinct as a comic because, you just want to barrel through, but it's like you just got to just be in the moment, just hold it.
Yeah.
And the tagline, it was like, you just got to do that. You can't just go, and stop them from clapping. I was just happy they were
Shut up.
Yeah.
Stop clapping.
Because then they might just go, all right, well, fuck off. We'll just kind of sit here, stupid.
Yeah.
They'll show me who's boss.
Stare back at you, idiot.
And then when you came out for the encore or whatever, what was that called? Like an encore?
Just a quick wave.
Call.
You come in for 5 seconds, curtain call.
Curtain call, and then Jimmy came back to another standing ovation, and then you leave. What were you thinking after the first show?
Oh, thank God that's done. Now one more to go. One more. Thank God that went well. Because now there's no pressure for the Late Show.
Yeah, that's what we were all saying backstage. Everyone was telling to Jimmy, man, that you could pretty much coast on the second one now and have fun up there because the first one just destroyed. Well, they both destroyed in the end.
Big Rich is saying we went crazy about the Voss thing. We were exploding in laughter because Voss was seated all the way in the back of the theater, and you guys had great seats. It was funny that, Voss was walking in, and
he just kept walking upstairs.
He kept going higher and higher. He was in the nosebleed seats. He had the worst seats in the theater.
Oh, God. We just don't take care of each other. Because remember when Voss had his big moment at the Donald Trump roast, and he invites Anthony and I, and we're thinking, wow, Voss has got a lot of heat these days. Yeah. He's going to be one of the guys, roasting Donald Trump. We have to have good seats.
Of course.
We had the worst seats in the house.
Voss.
We actually had to find an elevator. We were the only table that had to find an elevator at the Donald Trump
to watch the roast.
Behind that TV monitor up on the top.
Oh.
I finally got my pictures printed out. Actually, the pictures I gave you yesterday. I finally got them off my digital camera, and there's a picture of Anthony and I's seats at the Donald Trump roast. I got to get that online. It's hilarious. You can't even make out Donald Trump in the distance. You can't even make him out. So, all right, why don't we take a quick break? When we come back, we'll go right to the phones because a lot of people want to congratulate Jimmy there.
Sure.
On the HBO taping last night. And we got to get to some other things. Oh, my God, there's just so much. I'm trying to...
Like sleep?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's later. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got to get into the Ricky thing.
There you go.
All right, where were we? We got sidetracked there a little bit. Oh, we were going to go right to
all over the place.
We're going to go right to the phones, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's say hi to Dennis in Jersey, who actually has been waiting to talk to Jimmy for an hour and a half.
Are you kidding?
Dennis, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey, man.
Hi, Dennis.
Hello.
Angel Eyes, I just want to tell you that you were awesome. It was the 16th time I've seen you.
Wow.
And I just want to tell you, I'm a comic in Jersey. I've been doing it 7 months. And it was the equivalent of seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan last night.
On who?
The Beatles on Ed Sullivan.
Oh, thanks. Did he say Al Sullivan?
Yeah, well, I've been watching you that much. I can't get my thin bird lips to get words out.
Oh, thanks, man.
But I just want to tell you that I really, dude, everything in your face when you walked on stage and you got that a big ovation after I yelled shit dick during that quiet moment.
Oh, that was you?
I was right next to Pat from Wanaki.
Okay,
And I was right next to you guys, and you guys walked out, and everybody went nuts. I mean, this show is amazing, and somebody needs to tell Rich Voss he's a dummy.
We love Rich.
He walks in the line for the second show, and he goes, somebody went, "Hi, sweetie," and he goes, "I have little midget hands." We go, "Nice comeback, dumbass." He was so embarrassed. His poor fiance walked away from him.
Voss has some great stories. We'll get into when he gets here. I think he's going to be here within 10, 15 minutes. But so you were the shit dick guy. I was going to bring that up. Because, like Anthony was saying earlier, he wasn't sure if the audience was just going to be just a bunch of dicks.
Animals.
And, we gave you guys your props. You knew how important the night was, and you went with it, and it was awesome. But, the warm-up comic who did a great job, what's his name?
Drew Frazier.
Drew was really, really funny. He was, getting the crowd going before Jimmy and the rest of the comics, hit the stage. Anyway, so he quiets everyone down, and now HBO is rolling tape. Here it is. Here we go. We're starting the HBO taping.
Ready for the big intro.
Ready for the big intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, HBO presents, the big intro. So you need that silence beforehand.
Yeah, so they're rolling. They're now rolling. And all of a sudden, it was you, Dennis. You go, shit dick.
This just echoes in this auditorium. Shit dick! And the place comes apart. Just loses.
And that's when, and this was the Late Show, right?
Yeah,
I think
was
so.
there.
And there was a little concern backstage. Jimmy was feeling a little bit, too. He's like, well, it's a Late Show. It's an O&A crowd. They got to be hammered.
I know they're drunk.
Are they going to be able to focus for this, I mean, they're going to have fun, obviously. And that was the moment where I'm thinking, oh, this could get a little interesting, because everyone just starts laughing hard. And that usually starts it. Then the next thing is Chester's liver or what have you,
Keith the cop leaned over to me at one point and said, he goes, "Did you notice the smell of alcohol in this room during the second show?" The first show we went in, saw it, and then we come back, and Keith just leaned over and said, "The smell of alcohol, you could smell it in the room."
Nothing like smelling alcohol and bad breath at the same time.
Drunks. You drunks.
So then the guy has to kind of make an announcement, and as he's making the announcement, you can hear in his voice that he thought it was pretty funny, though. Oh. He's like, look, you can't, I forgot what he said, but basically, you can't, please don't yell out anything. It's just
tape is rolling, and you're just going to screw it up for the comment.
Yeah, there you go, okay, yeah. But he had to make the announcement because of you, Dennis.
Thanks, guys. Punch it out.
Thanks for coming, man.
There's Dennis from Jersey. Let's go to Steve from Staten Island. Steve, what's up?
It's Pete from Staten Island.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I just wanted to tell him what a great job he did last night at the show.
Thanks, buddy.
You I sat in the row just before O&A to their right a little bit.
What's that? Yeah? What'd he say?
He sat in the row just before O&A to the right a little bit.
Oh, that's
kind of
my next question.
Where he sat.
And he,
Thanks.
Steve, any highlights or what?
Somebody, I think it was Anthony, was just saying how everybody reeked of alcohol. I don't know who all the guys were sitting around me, if they were all your interns and everything, but my wife and I were like, these guys really stink. We were in for the Late Show.
Apparently so. They were drunk, too. They ended up sleeping here last night.
I'm wondering how many guys brought their wives or girlfriends and they had no idea what they were about to say.
No, I know.
That's
My
always...
my wife doesn't really listen to you guys. I try and get her to call all the time to play Guess What's in My Pants, and they stick her on hold for too long.
Oh, really?
And she never gets through.
Ah, bastards.
Well, we're going to be reaching for material today, so maybe we'll get her on today.
I hope so.
All right, Steve, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
There goes Steve. Let's go.
Oh, before I forget, I got to thank Eric Logan. And XM, they sent me a nice cheese box. It was like a little weird box of like cheeses and well-wishings.
They did?
Yeah, and Logan called me at home just to say good luck, so thanks, man. It's very appreciated.
That is very nice.
I had to say that before.
Elo.
Logan is just awesome.
Phenomenal, dude.
He's just amazing for us. He really is. I mean, Anthony and I are not used to someone that is in management that actually supports the show. We're just not used to it, so we're trying to figure this out as we go, because we're used to just being very defensive and working with people that just don't get it. But Eric Logan, man, he's like the biggest fan of this freaking show.
So I assume he has an ulterior motive and he's lying.
Yeah, exactly. I know, exactly.
He can't possibly be in management and be like a cool guy.
That means he'll probably be leaving the company within 2 or 3 months. That's usually the case. Because, I mean, in the past, we've had people that could have been the guy, and then all of a sudden they're packing bags and boxes in front of us. The famous Ron Valeri story is just unbelievable. You know, Anthony and I working at BAB, we get the big the call to start our real radio careers together. You know, a full-time slot for both of us.
Yep.
Do an afternoon drive up there in the Boston area. And the guy who hired us, who kind of discovered us, was this guy Ron Valeri, who was the PD up there. And he was coming down to Long Island every weekend to see his wife or his wife's family. There was something going on there. And he heard Anthony and I on the radio, basically, and went, whoa, I want these guys bad. So he was the one who hired us, and we were pretty excited because he had a name in the business at the time. And we get up to Boston, and what, within 2 weeks? Not even?
Not even.
Like, I think that we commit ourselves to make this move, okay? And it's very important to work for a PD that gets it.
And to work for the PD that hired you.
Right.
Because in radio, when they bring in new guys, the old guys that the old PD hired usually get fired.
All of them get fired.
So the PD can bring in his guys.
Right. It's kind of like when a coach comes in and he wants to bring in his coaching staff.
Or when the head of the mob guy gets killed, and there's a new guy. He brings in his boys.
So we're so excited. We go up to Boston. We're about to begin this gig, and we sit down for our first meeting with the program director, Ron Valeri, who went way out of his way to hire us.
We're in his office, and we notice his office is a little stark.
Yeah.
And
there's boxes around.
There's boxes all over the place.
And, he was pretty much telling us, welcome to Boston, welcome to the station.
You're going to love it here.
And he's just kind of casually, like, taking things off his wall and starting to throw them in his boxes.
Yeah, like, what's going on?
And it turns out he got hired to be a program director here in New York City.
Yeah, so he was leaving.
He was leaving.
And that's when they hired Dave Dickless.
From the middle of fucking nowhere, who just never got it. Just never got it.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, where'd that come from? Oh, yeah, Elo.
Oh, yeah, so Elo gave you the basket. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
No, dude, I just wanted to thank him. It was just fantastic to get that call, and it was just really, really supportive.
Very nice of him.
Yeah, it was great.
Let's go to Mario in Brooklyn. Mario?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Jimmy, you ripped it last night.
Thanks, Mario,
very
much.
It was excellent. I don't know how you speak so eloquently and talk about Terry Schiavo, but you think that stuff would make the HBO special?
Well, I don't know how much of the final. I mean, HBO obviously has final say, but they give the comedians quite a bit of freedom on what set we want to use, on what we want to cut out. Because I have to cut like 10 to 12 minutes out of each set because it's got to be 25 minutes, 27 minutes. So
as far as Opie was just talking about, how many girlfriends had no idea what to expect. I had to give my girl a warning as far as Jimmy's cancer jokes. So, because her mom is suffering for cancer right now, so
oh boy,
I had to lay that in just as a warning.
I really didn't do any cancer. I just did the one cancer reference, cancer patient shitting, which that was just kind of not really a cancer patient joke.
But congrats.
Had I known, I would have done more.
Yeah, I hope the
thanks, buddy.
The Terry Schiavo material is, so harsh and so funny. I just pray HBO doesn't get a little scared about that.
HBO is pretty damn good with letting the comics do whatever the hell they want, man.
You got to think that's the one bit. If they're gonna have a hair in their ass, that's the one, right?
Well, the only standards questions they had was anything that might libel them, like with names.
Okay.
That was it. Any name I mentioned, they had to verify that this person did do this, so they don't open themselves for lawsuits.
Right.
That was it. There was not one content mention for any of it.
They really don't. I've seen HBO comedy specials. Some of them, they let the comics say whatever the hell they want.
Absolutely. There was not one mention of content other than...
Ooh.
Hi, Rich.
Look who's here.
Hey, Butterfly.
It's
Man,
Rich
you killed
Voss.
last night. That was great.
What's up, Rich?
That was great.
Thank you, man.
Oh, God.
I got to tell you, I got to get right into it. Everyone was commenting how tan you are.
You are the tannest
and
individual
And I
ever.
know you got back from Atlantis at least a week ago, bro.
I can't get a cab. I try to get a cab here. That's wrong. I can't.
Look at this contrast between Jimmy and Voss.
You are so dark.
Thanks. Well, it's brutally hot and sunny down there.
Wow.
Get your hand off me.
Why? It feels good.
You know what? When I walked in, I thought Jimmy was going to throw me a kiss. That's a good way to end the show. What are you, Carol Burnett? Jesus Christ. The guy kills. Yeah, and then I'm fucking him in the ass. Bye. What's wrong with you? Dude, yeah. And then I'm smashing her head against a brick wall. Love ya.
As soon as my hand left my lips, I thought of you and Dummy. Even in my finest moment, I have to think about my friends shitting on me. Those awful comedians.
What are you, fucking Kennedy in Dallas? Throwing kisses? You're the new Pope? Jesus Christ, you just talked about rape material for an hour. Love all of you.
I love you all.
He was overcome by emotion.
No, he
How do you
didn't.
know he was blowing a kiss from the seats you had?
I
Yeah,
walked
really.
on top. I'm not going to sit down there in the middle and be seen in the audience. I'm a fucking celebrity. Be seen down there. That crowd was great, huh?
Weren't they awesome?
They were on fire.
You walked out with Bonnie and everyone was giving you your props big time, but then people started laughing because you just kept climbing the stairs higher and higher
Well,
and higher.
that's what we sat for Patrice, too. Well, that was because of the smell. But, no. It's just, you don't want to sit. Well, because during tapings, comics, it's hard for us to sit down. We want to kind of like even stand to the side or something, you know.
You want to shadow box along with the comic on
No,
stage.
that's my bit. If a comic shadow boxes before he goes on, he stinks. That's like if you're going to have heart surgery and you look over and the surgeon's shadow boxing, you're fucking dead. All right?
Big C from New York says, Voss looks like C. Thomas Howell in Soul Man.
Ooh.
There you go.
Not bad.
Yeah, I did get a lot of color. Speaking of, I don't want to do any, speaking of black, but I was watching the news this morning again, and this little black girl, the fifth grader, got handcuffed. Everybody's in an outrage, but isn't school supposed to prepare you for your future? I mean,
Jesus, Boss.
You recovered from going, isn't school proposed to?
I know.
That's a good joke.
Proposed to.
You can recover from that.
I know.
Nice
I woke up late because my dumb phone. I have an alarm on my phone, but I forgot last night I set it on vibrate, and I didn't hear it in my ass. And I'm Wendy Liebman now. I'm doing all my punchlines on. God, did you kill this? It was so much fun. No, but he was. Listen. We used to do gigs at open mics, like in Red Bank. There was a little club, the Laughing Bean, and we would go down, right, do gigs, for free. It was a coffee house, right? And this was I say 10.
We're 92, maybe 93.
I don't know. It was a while. I was just getting divorced. I think you'd go down, and and we would always go, me and him, and from that to doing an HBO special, I mean, that's a lot of cock to suck.
Something just transpired here that is just beyond me. You were just handed a note, Rich.
Uh-huh.
Look what it said. No, don't.
What?
Don't even start digging. Eric just handed Rich a note that says, need money for your food. Now, I'll bash Rich along with the next guy, but he is a guest on the fucking show, helping out. He's coming in here free of any financial gain. How does the show not pay for Rich's fucking food?
Nobody has money out there. That's why. Everyone's broke.
It's an egg sandwich and a coffee high rollers.
Yeah,
I'll get that. Maybe when we go out to dinner, you can get.
There is no way any guest coming in on this show should have to pay for their own food.
They never do. I was just told, ask Rich for money for his food. Nobody has any money out here. Okay.
It depends on the
That's
guest,
what I did.
Anthony. You want to start, paying for Stalker Patty's breakfast all of a sudden?
No, because that's not a guest that's coming in that
It's a guest.
No, not Stalker. There's a definite line between a Rich Voss and a Stalker Patty.
Yeah, you'd fuck Stalker Patty.
I'm just saying, not to pump up the guy's ego or anything.
Let's go back to... Oh, shoot, we just lost Mark. Mark? Yeah, he was waiting a while. Let's go to Rob on Long Island. Rob, what's up?
Jimmy rocked last night.
Thank
Jimmy,
you. There you
killed
go.
it. I felt like a grandparent watching his retarded kid graduate college. It was just like, it was phenomenal. It was just like, your timing was great, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man, very much.
I hope the audience took care of you.
They were phenomenal, dude. I could not have asked for better crowds either show. So thank you.
You have such a cross-section of demographics. I swear to God, there was people, all walks of life sitting there, and I was sitting between two of them, but it's my own fault for bringing one of them along with me.
All walks of life. Idiots and retards.
All walks. Brain dead
and murderers.
Brain dead and comatose.
What was the highlight for you?
Definitely, I'm looking forward to the next hurricane coming up.
Oh, yeah.
That was very funny.
That was a really good bit.
Jimmy gave a couple little clues to my future, I would say there.
All right.
But the porno thing at the end was great, too.
Cool.
Talking about the black porno guy.
Oh, Lex Steele, yeah, man.
Oh, my God. I was howling. My jaw had to relax for like a half hour after that show because it was just so tight from laughing.
Thank you, Angel.
Cool. All right, Rob.
Kevin Rock, too.
Yeah, well, I like Kevin a lot.
Brennan's great, man.
They told us that we couldn't sit in the audience for his half hour. I was bummed. I really wanted to be in the crowd for that.
They were just a little nervous because...
I thought it would be cool. I thought we shouldn't, because the crowd, you didn't want to put any attention on us.
Might have got a little rowdy, yeah.
Yeah, let the comic do his shtick.
Do you know what stupid Patrice said last night? What Jason? I go, how can Patrice didn't come? Jason said, well, Patrice felt that it was your night. He didn't want to take attention away from you because he draws so much attention. I go, that self-centered douchebag.
What was he going to do? Climb the Skirball Theater with a blonde on his shoulder?
He didn't want to take attention from him.
He'd look good chained up on that stage, wouldn't he?
Jesus.
Don't take pictures of him.
I talked to Jason and I said because I was kind of because Patrice is the one who relaxed me when I was so and Patrice I just
did
said
he rub your belly and go come on.
But I was kind of hoping he would come. It was all right. He did. I'm a comic. I know how it is. You're like, yeah, fuck it. I'll see. Whatever. We don't care. It's what we are as comedians.
He had some glass dildos to buy somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, he had to dehumanize some poor immigrant for $3.
Let's go to Joyce in New York. Joyce.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey, Joyce.
How are you?
Good.
Jimmy, I have to tell you, when the light went on and you came on and walked in, before your bald head made an appearance, I jumped up and screamed, and everybody else stood up, and it was just a wonderful show.
A night of love.
It really was.
It
was like you follow a comic from their beginnings. You see them come on an HBO special, and you think, my God, your friend has arrived.
Thank you very much.
It was wonderful. And you two rock stars walking in there, commanding everybody's attention. Opie Anthony.
It wasn't our night.
Well, it wasn't.
It was very nice to have the audience
it was
respond like that.
We almost didn't get to see Jimmy because when they let us in to see Kevin Brennan, they told us we couldn't stay for Jimmy.
Oh, okay. You went to see Kevin had his solo show.
We stood online 2 hours prior so we could get in. And then they handed us a ticket that said 9 o'clock. So I whipped out my email and said, wait a minute, I'm here to see Jimmy. Whoever the hell this Kevin guy is, I'm not here to see him.
HBO is a bunch of nervous Nellies, weren't they? Running around like crazy with their radios and stuff. We need 2 seat fillers, and this can't happen, and the 9 o'clock, and this. They were just like running around like crazy people.
Oh, yeah, they were. There was a blonde Nazi woman.
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Up top, she was seating people during Patricia's special, and she was yelling like Nurse Ratched. Sweetheart, you're sitting people, okay?
Exactly.
You're not a player.
She said, I have to look at you before I put you in the seat. Excuse me?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So,
well, for the up-front people, they kind of want some, good-looking people.
So a bunch of us stayed.
Didn't have much to choose from then.
I'd like 2 3s and a 5, please.
Right.
Just a second.
Jesus, is there any 4s in this whole damn place?
They were all well-dressed, nice people sitting in the front couple of rows.
Kevin wasn't bad at all. I mean, I was glad I saw him, but the crowd was not an O&A crowd. The people that were around us, especially the black woman knitting. I didn't see her.
There was a black woman knitting
right in front of me. Knitting.
Knitting?
Unbelievable.
It was better than stealing.
Unbelievable.
Stealing.
Yeah, so we got to stay for Jimmy, of course, and then we moved to even better seats, me and Hospitaliano. So it was great.
Thank you.
It was wonderful, and thanks for a great night, guys.
Thank you, sweetheart. I very appreciate you coming.
Take care, guys.
All right,
Bye-bye.
there she goes. Joyce, let's go to John in New York. I mean, the phones have just exploded. John?
This is John from Westchester. What's going on?
Hey,
Hi,
what's
John.
up, John?
How you guys doing?
Good.
What's up, little Jimmy?
Hi, John.
How are you?
Fantastic, man.
Listen, last night was just unbelievable, and it started for me outside on the line. I mean, I got Stalker Patty, shrilling voice, 2 people behind me. I was going to shoot myself or jump in front of a bus, but good thing I didn't because I got to see yesterday.
She was there?
Yeah, she was there.
I saw her from the stage. It's amazing because the lights.
Really?
And that's what you need to do. Just look at her dead, non-reacting face. That's a real mood booster.
I didn't get that joke. Oh, great.
She's a great supporter, but she doesn't know what she's supporting.
She's just
yeah, she's one of those people that is supporting something she has no clue about. She doesn't even know.
Online trying to be a rock star, but couldn't be. She just wanted all the attention, and then she just put her head into her shirt and was just done.
This show is against everything she believes in. It really is. It's our sense of humor is nothing like hers. She is into being nice to people and nice things. You know, being charitable. She doesn't like sex or bad words. She gets embarrassed. But she supports this show like a lunatic.
Yeah. And where's Stubby Fingers?
I'm over here, man.
Seeing you pace outside that line looking for attention last night was the
I didn't look
funniest
for attention. First of all,
you working the line, Rich?
First of all, the difference is you were standing on line. That's one. Second of all, I just walked in. But that is kind of funny because I did walk past the line going O&A stink just to get their attention. All right? You know, you're walking with a hot broad. You know, you want those mutants to look at you, you know? And Bonnie was looking good last night.
Certainly was.
She was very funny in the green room, too, man.
Yeah.
She was killing you.
But hey, Rich, how come you left the room right before the set was over?
We went downstairs to the dressing room, right? No, we watched the whole set. You mean when he came out, right when he came back out for his standing O and to throw his kiss? One, I didn't want to catch hepatitis, and 2, we wanted to go down to the dressing room before, you know.
I just figured you stopped smiling, you know, black guy in the dark.
Oh, you know what? You start off with such a good call.
What can you do?
All right, go to a message board and kill
guys,
yourself.
You guys, O&A, you guys are rock stars, man. I was right across from you guys on the lower balcony.
Okay.
I was the first retard screaming, O&A party rock!
O&A party rock. I heard it from the balcony.
O&A party rock!
All right, boys. Listen, have a great show.
All
Jimmy,
right.
you rock. I can't wait to see you again.
Thank you, mister.
Have a good one.
You're so lucky that, and you were even saying this, that this was taped in New York. Can you imagine how horrible that would have been if it was L.A.?
I thought of that, too. Like, I would love the only other place I would have found acceptable, obviously Boston, Philadelphia,
yeah.
Cleveland would have been, I mean, any of those cities. But New York, they could have done this in L.A. or another city.
Too cool for the room people
Dude.
in there. Don't get it.
Bunch of industry dummies just sitting there. How awful that would have been. I didn't want industry people there, too, because they don't laugh. They just sit there and they suck.
Well, if you have to do that, next time we just rent Greyhound buses and just
ship these psychopaths out there.
Exactly. Stalker Patty, what's up?
Hey, I want to congratulate Jimmy. He did a stellar job.
Thank you, Patty.
You were awesome. A nice little box of Godiva will go your way.
Oh, thank you.
That's a stellar performance, and you did such a great job. That's all I wanted to say.
Patty,
Thank you, Patty.
you actually get the jokes and everything?
Yeah, I do. I laugh and everything. Sure, I get the show.
You don't find it maybe a little mean-spirited for your taste?
Yeah, you know, but it's the show. You know, I laugh.
Hey,
I had such a great time yesterday. I was hanging out with a couple of people afterwards and whatever.
Socializing.
You were socializing? Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Did anyone finger you?
No, I didn't feel anything. If anybody did, I wouldn't know about it.
And where are you getting all this free chocolate from?
Well, sometimes we have write-offs, and then, you know, if it's someone's birthday, I'll buy something for them, you know, and I get a discount, a really big discount in the store, you know, so it's really awesome. A lot of my gifts come from the store.
I got my...
It's 95% of my Christmas shopping.
I got my chocolate hookup on Columbus Avenue. One of your fellow...
I know him.
What's his name?
His name is Michael Chocolate or Chocolate Michael. I've only met him
Michael
like twice
Chocolate.
in my life. He never comes in.
I walked in to get some...
The only time I hear from him is
Oh,
if
man.
he calls for my manager.
Nah, he's a good guy, man. He hooks me up. He's my chocolate connection.
Yeah, I know.
He gives me his 50% discount.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, family and friends.
All right. Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm sitting here looking into my cup of coffee at the Brooklyn Diner.
Oh. Are you getting recognized at the Brooklyn Diner today?
No.
No? Do you ever get recognized at the Brooklyn Diner?
Not really.
Does she
No,
have a
nobody
cell phone
really
now?
comes up to me.
That's a
Why?
calling card.
Patty, you have a cell phone?
Yeah, I do.
How did you get your whole life together?
She slapped
Well,
her life
things
together.
just fall into place. That's all.
For the
And I
new
think
listeners, I have to tell you, for the new listeners out there, Stalker Patty was a complete mess. I mean, you think she's a complete mess now, but no, she was a complete and total wreck a couple of years back. Just about homeless.
No, it got to a point where she was homeless,
she was
living at
in
the radio
studio.
station.
She had not a possession to her person.
She was living under the stairs with a stuffed rabbit.
Yeah, that's all she had.
On a cum-stained mattress that just happened to be there for some reason.
Under the stairs.
Or a couch or something that was just awful.
And she slapped her life together. I think the 2 years that we were off the air, she spent getting her life together because she wasn't able to obsess about the show.
Now she's got a MiFi, a cell phone.
Good paying job.
Job at Godiva.
Yeah, very good, Patty. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, Patty.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, there she goes, Stalker Patty.
And the goal of the show, by the way, is to get her to lose all of those.
Oh,
things.
absolutely. Of course. That isn't even a question in my mind. To have her destitute again. That is what we want. Lose her job.
Mark in Jersey, what's up?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Jimmy, great show last night.
Oh, thank you, man, very much.
Hey, I come in, and I'm sitting behind 6 Asian girls. They were students at the school. They'd never heard of you before. So they're asking me what kind of comic you are, and I said, well, he's real clean, he's a great comic, he's real nice. As soon as you came out, not 10 minutes into your act, you're talking about banging Terry Schiavo.
Good.
Outstanding job, guys. Great
Thank
show.
you.
All right.
Did they stay?
All right. Doughboy from Whackbag. Doughboy, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I was sitting in the front row, and that fat beast kicked me out and moved me back to the third row, the front row of actually cushy seats.
You weren't attractive enough?
No, I'm a fat guy in a suit. It just doesn't work that way.
Wait a minute, sweetie, what show were you at?
I was at the second show.
Oh, why'd they move you?
Because I'm a fat guy in a suit.
Yeah, but they only moved you to the third row. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Some people were moved right out of the theater. They were told to go see a movie.
She's like, yeah, you can go take a seat down front. It's fine. No problem. So I sit down there, and then she walks up. She's like, I didn't tell you could sit here. I just wanted to, shit on her. She was awful.
Yeah, she was scary.
They run a tight ship over there at HBO.
They're amazing.
Tight ship.
But I didn't know that. I mean, I want messes in the front for my shows. That's messes.
It's going to be the attractive people, the model-looking people with the suits.
Yeah.
That way when they do that camera shot, because I saw the camera behind Jimmy a couple of times, and they get that shot where you see the comic from the back, and then you can see the audience a little bit. They want, good-looking people.
Well,
Yeah,
I just
it's
wanted
HBO.
to congratulate you, sir.
Thanks very much,
Very
man.
wonderful show.
Thank you, buddy.
Adios, man.
All right. And one more before we break here. Todd, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
I just wanted to send out a big fat live fuck you to Frank from down in South Jersey. The motherfucker decided to make a left-hand turn into my truck on the way into the show. I fucking missed it. I couldn't get in there. I had my girlfriend. She was all pumped, ready to go. And we sat there and couldn't get in the fucking show because the guy sucks.
Found a little wreck.
I'm
Which
glad
Frank?
to hear that you fucking
Just
killed
some
Jimmy.
guy, Frank, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, he sideswiped me. It was fucking awful, and now it's fantastic hearing everybody say how good the show was. So,
Thank you for letting me
fuck
turn
you, Frank.
into your car.
Suck a dick.
All right.
Some asshole Frank.
Later, guys.
Bye, fella.
A lot of people want to know what you did after the shows, Jimmy. Was there a big night? Well, we've known in the past that Jimmy likes to celebrate in very strange ways when he gets these career moments. The last career moment he had was finally getting to talk to Ozzy Osbourne on this show. It was like a 40-minute interview that just, quite frankly, was some of the best radio we've ever done, and we were all on a high. And you celebrated by, I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe someone can help us out because the fans know the show better than we do. But I think you got a young lady of the evening, and she did something on your chest or something, right?
I don't remember, but I'm sure one of the listeners will. It's very, very likely that I did something awful.
So you were, you had this unbelievable high, and then you decided that this is what you needed to do to celebrate. So, a lot of us wondering, well, this was his big moment on HBO.
How did you screw this up?
Yeah.
We were off the air when I did the Westbury Music Fair. I did a great show there, and I picked up a prostitute that night, and her boyfriend was chasing her down the street, and he's beating on my car windows. It was awful. He's like, "Get out of the car, bitch!" She jumps in. She's like, "Help me, help me!" And she jumps in my car. And that was what I did after Westbury Music Fair. There's always some type of misbehavior. But last night, I went to the Comedy Cellar and just had apple pie with a little ice cream. What a faggot I'm turning into.
Yeah, but he made me take the ice cream and drop it on his stomach.
Chocolate, of course.
Chocolate, yeah.
They gave me a room at the Soho Grand, and I was going to stay, but
Ooh.
I was like, I wanted to just go home and get up and do the show.
Oh, you didn't stay in the room?
Only because I had to come in today, and what are they going to do? Just lay there with no computer and realize I'm in my hometown. I have nothing to do.
Yeah, that's true.
It would have been depressing. So
It
no,
was
I got
cool
nothing
to go out. He wanted to go home right after the tape, and are you crazy?
Yeah, you gotta
hang out.
You gotta ride out that high that I'm sure you had.
Yeah, we did. We went to the Cellar, and that was where I would want to be anyway.
And we were all laughing at you in the green room because he was comparing like the HBO thing to the time he was on the Tonight Show. Like everyone in the room could relate to something like that. Mm-hmm. And what was it? The lighting or the crowd or something?
I really am an ass because you were talking about the applause.
Right.
It was in between shows. They just clapped a lot. And Patrice told me that was going to happen. He's like, just let it happen, enjoy it. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, I kind of had that. I'm like, if they do that on the Tonight Show a lot, they'll just kind of clap after the bits.
Like he's in a room with 10 guys that did some time on the Tonight Show. We're all just like, yeah, we can relate to that, Jimmy. You said it so casual, like, yeah.
It's just you're not used to having your jokes clapped after. It's just a very odd, nice thing. But you just gotta.
I could tell you that.
It definitely worked though. Let's get another lady on the line here. Stacy in Jersey. Stacy?
Ooh, lady.
Hey, Stacy.
I just wanted to congratulate Jimmy on a great show last night.
Ooh, thank you.
Why can't you speak? Why do you have to speak so quietly?
All the girls are talking
Am I
very
speaking
softly
quietly?
today.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to be attacked. I just wanted to say great show.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're in a good mood today. I don't think
Yeah, you sound it.
we're not going to be attacking today, I don't think. Tomorrow we attack back.
All right, then I'll call tomorrow.
All right, thanks,
Take
Stacy.
care.
Bye, miss.
Bye.
Bye.
We have time to play
She was
the
a little
Nathaniel thing?
confrontational.
She certainly
I
was.
didn't like Stacy just then.
She was nervous, Anthony.
She had she was talking low. I said, "Why are you talking low?" She's like, "Well, I don't want to be attacked." It's like, "No, you're not going to be attacked." I didn't like that call.
She was very nervous. She
You
was
think
nervous
that was
we were
it?
going to just jump down her throat. Definitely.
Oh, the fan pictures of Pat from Moonachie are showing up. Here's one. He's got like a look that he puts on in all the pictures now. There's some guy, I guess, taking a picture with Pat, and he's very excited about it. And Pat's doing a thumbs up and making a "hey, haha" kind of face.
That's Pat, the one that looks like Stinky from Abbott and Costello.
Right there.
Oh, you haven't met
I had food court in my mouth.
you haven't met Pat from Moonachie yet?
I probably met him. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a star now.
By
Character, is
character.
he?
Yep.
He's a star.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got the Nathaniel voicemail. What's this all about?
It wasn't a big deal. It was just that I'm just so nervous about HBO, and I get the interns calling me, trying to get the VIP treatment, wanting the tickets, just wanting to cut the line, and it's just like...
I would think if Nathaniel wanted something done about getting not having to wait on the line for the HBO thing for Jimmy, he would probably go through Eric and say, "Look, is there a way I could get there?" But he figured he's a go-getter. He's going right to the source. Regardless of the fact that Jimmy's probably thinking about the HBO special every, 10th of a second or so, and has nothing else on his mind. He took 2 days off from this program to get his mind in order and set for this HBO thing. But Nathaniel assumed he should call Jimmy and ask him to get him on the line, get him so he could skip the line and get right in.
Yeah.
And Jimmy will get right to work on that.
Can I meekly defend myself
You
now or
can.
after we play the audio?
I think after, right?
Yeah, I think we need to hear the audio first.
All right, here it is.
Hey, Jim, it's Nathaniel. Just following up with my email. I'm just hoping to get into your show tomorrow. Danny and I both have tickets. We got them through Broadway Video thing. If there's any way we could get in without waiting in line, that would be awesome. If you could give me a call back, I'd appreciate it. Talk to you later, Jim.
Jimmy's just, drop everything. Drop everything. HP, what? I don't even...
In my defense,
yes,
I hadn't gotten a satisfactory answer from Eric in terms of being able to, because the line went around the block, and I knew it was going to be very hard to sort of get in. And I would like to see Jimmy up close and personal, because
Yeah.
I enjoy his comedy.
Who
And
doesn't?
I had so I emailed Jim, and I was just going to leave it at that. I knew he was busy, so if he's going to get to it, he didn't. And
I like
under
the
the
little
recommend
dash at Eric there.
Well,
where, you let everybody know that you did indeed ask Eric and did not get a satisfactory answer.
Well, from there, I called Kenny, who was handling all this stuff. And Kenny was saying, I'll see what I can do. And Kenny had a million other things, and I never heard back, so I said, I don't know what to tell you. So he took it upon himself.
So I was a little nervous, and Ben did recommend to call Jim personally.
Ben, you're the one that told Nathaniel to call.
Ben, well, listen, I told him just to call him. I didn't think Jim would care.
But people don't.
Jim doesn't give a shit about this stuff.
People don't. But it's his big.
Well, listen, this was a different thing.
Hold on. I got to get in on this. What people don't understand. You're looking at the biggest instigator on the show.
Oh, I know.
A lot of people point the finger at me. He's the biggest instigator on this program.
He loves stirring it up and then
stirs
stepping
up
back
shit
and looking.
all the time and just sits back and giggles.
Well, no, wait a second. Well, this was a different thing. Kenny was being like, oh, this is HBO's thing. I mean, look, none of us had backstage passes or anything last night. It was a whole thing. I even asked Kenny, we're going to have seats reserved? Oh, I don't know. That was yesterday. So how this whole thing went, we had no control of it. So I told him just to call Jim. I didn't think Jim would care.
How did it work out for you, Nathaniel? Did you actually get in and?
Yeah, it was a little harder than it was for Danny. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus either. He was a little more forward and got in, and I was a little more meek, and it took me a little longer
the
time.
competition between these two guys.
Did
not
Danny give you like a ha-ha before he walked in or something?
He did until I then walked by him on the way to seating. I don't know, it just worked out that I went right by him.
See, I got to explain another thing. You gotta get everyone involved here. Like, there's a hierarchy going on here, okay? We hired Derek. Derek does a great job, taking us in and out of breaks and coming up with music on the fly when we need it for bits and stuff.
Derek's like the boss in that room.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go nuts.
And he's like this much higher than Danny and Nathaniel, just barely. If you're looking at an official hierarchy of the behind the scenes crew, and then Danny and Nathaniel are basically waiting in the wings to take Derek's job.
Yeah.
So when Derek screws up, and he will, everyone does.
Because everyone does.
And then we're going to have to move one of these guys up. So these guys are jockeying position always.
That would be a real tough decision. If you had to make it today, who do you put there? Derek leaves, something happens, he's gone. Who now moves up? Because the other guy is just going to continue doing what he's been doing, but one of them will get that little notch up.
I think I like Danny.
Oh,
Nathaniel's a little too sarcastic for me.
What?
Yeah, I forgot how unwelcome sarcasm was at this show.
Hence the joke, buddy.
I don't know. That would be a tough one. I think we would have to do it because they're pretty equal here. I think we'd have to do it on some kind of lottery basis, coin toss, some way where fate is the only one to blame.
Because there's a rumor that's already circulating that we might have to fire Derek because he was, feeling up Sunset Thomas and fingering her.
Feeling up
on company.
Feeling up is brushing your hand over a breast. That was sex that was going on that couch.
And he was doing it on company time, so he's got a meeting with Human Resources later today.
Very upset.
You know what would be beautiful if he left and instead of putting Danny and Nathaniel, he just brought in someone from the outside.
Oh, really? Just screw him over.
Stalker Patty.
Put Ricky in there.
Ricky.
Well, no, that Travis kid, he's a go-getter.
Travis is really a go-getter. I don't know. But like you were saying yesterday, I think he's brown-nosing it a little bit.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Like these guys, they've built their reputations here on their hard work and sense of humor and fitting in with the show. And I'm not saying Travis hasn't, but Travis is adding this element of, I'll do whatever you want.
Can I wash your apple, sir?
Yeah, things like that.
Well,
it's a good thing. I mean, to see the guy wash the apple is something I don't think Nathaniel or Danny would do.
And if we're going to talk about brown-nosing, Anthony and I don't like brown-nosers. Jimmy, you like brown-nosers?
If they're brown-nosing me, yes.
Yeah,
if they're brown-nosing other people,
I got no
no.
problem with it.
That's right. That one.
Yeah, watching a brown-nose someone else is like, that's
revolting.
Brown-nosing me?
And I'm
starting to go-getter.
And I'm starting to think that Danny slept here last night, so we would notice when we came in how hard of a worker he is.
No.
All of a sudden, he's waking up, conveniently, he's waking up on the couch as I'm walking in.
No, I don't see that at all. I see a drunk kid that had to fucking sleep it off.
He's giving you the thumbs
in
up.
the workplace. Very irresponsible.
All right, well.
They're all.
So you took care of Nathaniel?
All amazing.
How did that work out? You didn't even call
by
him back.
hitting save just long enough to get Steve to get that audio. He didn't do anything.
Pretty much what he did.
And I didn't expect him to, and I wasn't, thinking Jim's going to be shaking my hand as I walk into the Scribble Theater last night. But
well, I talked to the HBO people. I actually went to called L.A. and I talked to Chris Albrecht, and I said, look, this kid has to get in first. And they made a few phone calls, and there was a problem with the line, but everything got, apparently a couple people were fired, but hopefully they got it all straightened out.
Happen.
Yeah.
I'll be taping my own special at the end of the month. Jim did great. Yeah,
good one.
Wonderful. Give me a car crash. That sucked.
There we go. All right, Nathaniel, thank you. Good job. Okay.
I hope
We'll take a break.
Did you get him? No? Nothing? Nothing.
It's good.
They're lies to you.
We still got lots to do. We got Voss in studio.
Yep.
He was cracking us up in the green room talking about his little vacation to Atlanta. Rich, I want to thank you for being here, just in case I forget.
I can't believe I got right in either.
Yeah, really.
Hey, it was unbelievable.
No, Rich knows what to do now.
Rich doesn't mess around.
Rich just walks in the door and
Yeah.
sits down.
He's
now.
like, I ain't fucking
He's
waiting.
like, he knows if he sits on the couch of doom over there, you're just stuck watching
I'm gonna
the show.
sit out there like a fucking fat girl. Hi, someone asked me to dance. Please. The fact that I got up this early.
Look at this mess.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She's
ready to get
wearing
naked.
a cute little pink fuzzy jacket.
Look at that.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
She's got a belly shirt on.
Yeah.
She just took off her pink fur, I guess.
She looks like an old dancer. Her name should be like Dusty Vagina.
Hey, you're getting props on the phone lines today, Voss. James, what's up?
Hey guys. Hey, I got to tell you, whenever you have Voss with you three, it's perfect. You could be talking about dirt, and it would be funny. I mean, Jimmy and him are like brothers. You guys sound awesome.
Yeah, we love when the Rich comes in.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of friends getting together.
Hey, Rich, in case something happens at the end of the show, thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're right. And we just did that. Here's the thing about these HBO specials. The two people, comics, you kind of get a little jealous because you're not. But the two people that you love that you're fucking are both doing one. It's almost just as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Voss's fiance Bonnie did one as well.
Friday
right?
night.
Friday
she
night.
got a standing O. And, for 2 months I was, we've been on the road forever, and she wasn't a road comic. She was an L.A. comic, and I'm a road comic. So I kind of had to help her along, And then she got this special. They asked for a tape from her. She didn't have a tape, so I booked 2 nights for us. And I'm not taking credit. I'm just saying how you help as a couple.
Oh, boy.
No, as you help as a couple.
Here we go.
But listen,
this tape right here that you're hearing, folks, will end up in litigation.
No.
This
I
will
tell you
be
what she said.
tapes that will be played in courtroom.
Oh, boy.
Wait, let me tell you.
Jimmy's giving you the look like, just shut up.
No, but
now.
listen. But no, when you're a couple and you're doing shows, she has good shows around. She's not a comic like us. But when we were at the Stress Factory, I mean, she doesn't do well there. It's not her club. They're animals, You got to follow that phone call and fucking Vinny's Hackfest. So, all we do is fight. But she came a long way, right? When I came off your show last time, you guys were talking about prenups. Remember you were talking about prenups?
Yep.
I swear to God, driving home that day in the car, she brought it up. She thinks, well, I got an HBO special now. Maybe I should get a prenup. I didn't even bring it up. Yeah, and she goes, and then I'm arguing with her against it. And I'm going, wait a second, what am I, a fucking idiot?
Crazy?
Well, I was doing psychology.
Oh.
And so it was perfect.
Psychology.
But as I'm saying, it's tough when you're. Where am I going with this?
Nowhere. It's just great to watch because you're just digging this hole going, she's a good comic. I mean, look, I helped her along. I know.
I know. We help each other.
You're just waiting you're waiting for one of us to help you out.
Yep.
No, what I was saying is when you're best friend
Are you going to sign
a
prenup?
Fuck yeah. I just look at this watch. You think I'm going to let her take that?
That is nice, man.
I'm trying to get the necklace and the ring back and still get married. It's a nice ring. She trashed me in the dressing room last night.
This we got to be fair on this show. I mean, we kill each other on a daily basis, but you got to give props as well. I was up late. It was a school night, and I remember that you were telling me you were going to be on Dennis Miller. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. And I've been starting to take a peek at Dennis Miller. That show's not that bad at all. I'm starting to enjoy it. And you were on Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
Let's get right to the thing. And he doesn't have you come out and do your act in front of the crowd or his studio audience. He sits down with you. So you're sitting right next to Dennis Miller doing your act pretty much for him. You know, one guy basically. You're focusing on him, and he was just enjoying the hell out of you, man. You could tell when these TV guys are politely helping out the comics. But he was really, really enjoying it, and I was really happy for you, man. I was like, holy crap, Voss is killing in front of Dennis Miller.
Well, thank you. The thing is, when you're doing...
you did Dennis Miller?
Huh?
I didn't know you did Dennis Miller.
Listen, don't.
No,
listen, it's like he just did HBO, Dennis Miller. That's like, you know, it's like serving him filet mignon and throwing scrapple in my face.
That's nice.
Isn't it? Well, because we were talking about okay, let me tell you something. Shut up, jizz comic. Okay.
Wait, was that CNBC?
No, actually, he's fuckface.
Okay. I was, you know, you got to do a lot of stuff when you're waiting for your own TV show to get started. You know, so you're doing a little stuff to keep your face out. Oh, you fucking.
I'm happy for you.
Wow. Oh, look at this douchebag during a special, and me and Colin Quinn, he's name dropping during his own special.
I'll explain why. I'll explain why I mentioned Colin's name, because the joke. There was one line in the joke where I said. I something about us being men, and I had never made it clear, and it only worked well when I mentioned a male's name. That's the only reason I did that.
Well, the thing about Dennis Miller, I mean, it's a small show. He's a great guy, but at the end, when I was done and I threw a kiss to the audience, Dennis said, "You can always come back now." Okay.
Voss, you missed that whole discussion where you started the show, kind of talking about that.
Oh no.
And you got me off the hook because you told me right after the taping, don't forget that he blew kisses to the audience. So I felt a relief because when Jim acknowledged Ant and I on in the audience and made us stand up, which is such an awkward moment. I actually gave him a thumbs up. I looked at him, and I didn't know what to do. So I just go like this, thumbs up to Jimmy, right? And I'm like, oh, did I just give a thumbs up? And then Anthony admitted that his thumb was on the way up.
I was almost gonna, but then I decided to give him the point, it's about you.
So I thought I was going to get killed because I knew
in that situation.
I knew someone saw that and was going to throw me under the bus. And
Opie gave the thumbs up that should have been the freeze frame that do at the end of Chips episode. Where they freeze Punch doing a thumbs up.
I'm like, did I just give a thumbs up? I'm like,
that's horrible.
It really was bad. But you saved me by realizing. Because I didn't notice that he did the kiss thing. I'm like, all right, this will balance it out slightly,
Oh, jeez. Everybody throw a kiss.
Oh, dude.
All three of you on stage.
The game kiss.
It's the end of the newlywed game.
It's just weird when there's such a special, happy moment for one of your friends. There was such gay crap going on the stage, in the audience. Backstage in between shows, Jimmy's hugging and kissing Anthony and I and saying he loves us, and I'm just like, this is just awful.
When he threw a kiss, Milton Berle died again. It was horrible. I guess you don't know what to do, when you're in those, you just, when he said...
It's so awkward to be, loving. When you used to be in creeps, it's awkward to be, sweet, and, you know what I mean? To be genuine. Just
all kidding aside, obviously, it felt good, the hugs and the kisses.
When he goes to two guys that I like to thank...
it was awesome.
I like to thank the two guys I love, Opie and Anthony. And in the back of his mind, he's saying the two stepping stone. Shut up. Fucking...
So listen.
Here we go.
He would have said hi to you from the stage, but he needed a bullhorn so he could hear it from the seat you were at.
Yeah, but I wanted to step there so he looked thin.
Yeah, just, if we could actually rewind a year or so, and Jimmy was doing the same special, I'd like to thank Colin Quinn.
Yeah, I know.
Let's rewind 5 years ago. I'd like to thank Andrew Dice Clay. Whoever it is. You should have just edited that part out, just in case something happens before it airs, where you can just pop in whoever.
I'd like to thank Bob Levy.
Hey, by the way, Anthony and I want to get in on this a little bit. Jimmy filmed his HBO special last night. Voss just did Dennis Miller. And Anthony and I are featured in Penthouse this month.
You just spit all over the
flew out of
place.
your mouth.
Oh, I love that. I do that all the time.
I knew it was going to sound absolutely awful.
First of all, isn't it Hustler?
Oh, I said Penthouse?
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
And then you spit all over the board.
Well, we do have an interview coming out in Penthouse as well.
Oh, we do?
Ah, they love us. The smut magazines love you and I.
Smut magazines just adore
No,
this
it's Hustler
program.
magazine. I'm sorry. The July issue. We have a little mention on the cover too.
You can't spit if you say Hustler, though.
You know,
Penthouse.
Hustler. We're in Hustler magazine. But where were we at? Oh, so you were talking about your time at Atlantis.
Oh, at the Atlantis.
And that's where I went on vacation.
It's not the Atlantis.
Yes, it is. What it is.
It's just called Atlantis.
The Atlantis. Well, what do you say? Atlantis? I went to Atlantis.
Yeah.
I went to
Atlantis. Okay. Well, the Atlantis. I took my kids power sailing. Right? I said that last night. Remember?
Yeah, last night is like,
remember?
The kids went power
You kidding
sailing.
me? When we were in the green room, I'm just trying to be your friend, and I'm smiling and stuff, and I whisper to Eric, write all this down for the show tomorrow.
But he says they went power sailing, and he keeps the story going. No one said anything because we're amazed, thinking, did he say power sailing? And then you're trying to realize what power sailing is. And I'm thinking, isn't that just called motorboating? It's power sailing.
Wait, can I back up?
And then we realized, oh my God, he means parasailing.
Everyone missed the obvious line, so we got to let Chandler in here. Chandler.
Yeah. Hey, good. How you doing this morning, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Congratulations there, Jimmy.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I heard that Voss gave a thumbs up too, but nobody could see his little midget fingers from all the way to the room. Touch it out, guys.
There you go.
And of course, I have to take a moment to acknowledge, obviously, my two favorite people in the world. Guys, I love you so much, man. Opie and Anthony, thank you, guys. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. 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 Thank you.